All right, okay, Barlow. Third time's a charm. I tried to do this two other times, but my audio was off. Anyways, I just wanted to show you a little bit of details of my trading review process and what I've been doing differently. What I mainly started this month. So here's my TradeZella for my personal account. I take the same trades in here as I do in DarwinX, so I do all the detailed work in here. This is a snapshot of the month in this account. End of the week strong, about 8K, and then 13K on the month in my personal account, and I started at 3K. So not bad. Um, Yes, so I tag all my trades by strategy and with the rules. So I go into it as you can see. I rate them. I tag them. This is a low hanging fruit setup. Strategy. That's a strategy. Those are all the entry criteria, and then I have screenshots. Just detailing what the trade was, and I have that for every trade that I've been taking. If you go down the list, this is my earlier trades in a month. This is another low hanging fruit trade that I took. Strategy. Just marking off. The entry criteria. Uh, you know, uh, Screenshot of the trade. This is how I started the month. Um, yeah, so I just want to let you know I have been doing things a lot differently. I'm not fucking around, like not looking to go back in the same pitfalls. I have three strategies that I run. Uh, I have my A plus setups and my pump and dumps, and then my dumping pumps and the low hanging fruit. Now this month, my best performing trade is the low hanging fruit. Although my A plus setup is a pump and dump, that's the pattern I recognize the best. But this month, I was able to kind of see the low hanging fruit trades the best, and the dumping pumps were kind of part of the low hanging fruits because I had a lot of success with buying this month instead of selling. That being said, like I said, I've been tagging my trades. I have a few different things that I do to keep track. So it's not just TradeZella. If I go into my Google Drive, I've created certain documents, files to kind of like help me track my trades. To go into uh, to 2026. So I do log all the trades on Excel spreadsheet as well. These are the names of the trade, the results, and then the symbols. These are the metrics. My expectancy per trade is 1,455 dollars per trade. If you go to my dashboard, logging in every trade, you see my equity curve. Um, you go back. And then again, I'm keeping track of like my expenses as well. This is the accounts, my personal account, DarwinX, what I've been able to withdraw so far in the year. My expense log. This is basically my expenses per month from the desk fees, DarwinX, the funded desk, TradeZella, and then some other software that I use. I just purchased the eval account on Funder Pro, and then if you go to my dashboard this year so far, and this is mainly all coming from this month. I pay myself about 6,500. So a total of almost $7,000 this month that altogether that I paid myself so far in a year. But the majority of that was this month. True net profit after expenses is right around 6K. So that's one way I'm also just keeping track of things, not just kind of like just guessing and just trying to like keep tracks, by memory. But I have everything like in Excel spreadsheets and so on and so forth. I created other documents also to kind of like help me track everything. Um, I have a trading report card that I fill out. I have a pre-market checklist. This is a quick snapshot of the report card. I go in there, I mark off what I did right, what I didn't do right, and then I have notes in there as well. And then going back to TradeZella, I definitely have notes in there with the trades as well. Go back to the dashboard, and I've been utilizing the um, what's that feature? Let's see. Go back. Go to the notes. So I've been utilizing the speech feature where I'm not like typing everything down like by hand. I just speak it into the speaker, and it makes some mistakes, but I just go back and kind of review it. This is just an example of like what I wrote today, and I have that for all the trades that I've been doing. So I've been doing that. I also have a physical journal that I put everything in. And then, all the documents that I created, I also fill it out by hand. Um, and I've been using ChatGPT to help me create some of these documents as well. I also have a pre-market, like a readiness checklist that I do to just check like my mental temperature, my emotional state, my physical state, how I'm feeling. I grade myself, and based on that grade is gonna dictate like the size that I'm gonna put on that day. If I'm feeling great, I go full size. If I feel subpar, I cut down the risk, and if I feel like shit, I just won't trade at all. So I've implemented that in my daily process, pre-market checklist, readiness score, just checking my own temperature, and then so on and so forth. So I showed you TradeZella. This is also my DarwinX account. Uh, DarwinX, this month um, I was able to bring in $5,300 in performance fees, and so far I got my allocation, my capital allocation to a total about uh, $1.1 million with the allocation that DarwinX gives me, and also the outside investors. I have about 11 investors, and then I have the additional investors from DarwinX themselves. To I'll show you a little more details. So this is the list of investors right here. This is the total P&L, and then my performance fees that that I got from them, and then the scheduled dates where I'm gonna get paid these fees. I have payments coming up on the 9th of April, the 16th, the 8th, and then going into May, I have the bigger payouts coming up. Now I have a chance to add to these as long as I keep up with the good work. There's a chance I can take away from it too if I go into a negative performance. But like I said, I'm keeping everything tight. I'm being patient. I'm being process oriented instead of outcome oriented. Process over outcome. Not making it about the money. And then that's one of my concerns going into next month is how do I not fall back into that same pitfall and get drunk on the money that I made this month and then size up too fast, or trying to just like do something crazy. I talked to ChatGPT. I'm using ChatGPT effectively to kind of help me with my business. Um, so one of the questions I basically, you know, had ChatGPT answer for me, or like kind of like help me out with was, hey, how do I make sure after I have a good month, not go back in the next month and like blow up by trying to size too big, and how do I like keep it going? And ChatGPT helped me out with a few ideas, and this is pretty much it. This is what I asked it. So March was my best month. I made a profit of 18K between my personal account and my funded account. How do I not get ahead of myself? So basically, how do I best keep this result going without taking any steps back? So it's helped me kind of come up with some ideas what I should be focusing on instead of trying to like just repeat the same thing, because it's not about repeating the my march, but really just sticking to the disciplines in my process and making sure that I'm following those rules. So these are the things I'm being aware of, staying on top of. This is my personal account right here. Through Gates FX is my broker. This is my live account with Gates FX. I think I have about 9K in this account right now. Let me just show that to you as well. So the balance currently is 9K, and these are my trades for the month. The 13,320 was a profit for the month of March, and again, my best performance so far in the year. So I told you earlier, February was like an atrocious month for me, where I was on vacation. So really, February is my first month this year trading, and I was just chasing and chasing, kind of just trying to start too fast, and then I wasn't paying attention to my rules. I wasn't being disciplined because I was just being very outcome oriented instead of being process oriented. So I really went and did a deep dive on myself. So this is my Google Drive. This is how I have my folders in here. I keep track of all my trades and all the documents that I'm creating and just like some of the ideas that I come up with, etc. So if I go to my 2026 losses, just kind of like a snapshot. These are screenshots of each trade that I lost, and like I go in with like a little bit of a deep dive with the explanations. For example, the reasons for loss. I basically like jot down why I how I lost this trade. This one's trading outside of my normal work window, buying high. Wasn't paying attention to like the rules. Looking for liquidity sweeps is a part of like one of my rules and one of my conditions that need to be met before I take a trade, and I just wasn't paying attention to that. Show you another example. This one, reasons for loss: trading before the open, trading on the inside of a range, not giving price a chance to do a sweep. Bad TP, aiming for too much, just kind of just forcing the issue. So I went to a deep dive on each of those trades that I lost. There's another one, trading in the middle of a range, and it's usually the same reason: selling low, trading before the open, bad TP, FOMO, etc. So I really just sat there and did that deep reflective work and looked at myself, and I adjusted right on time for March, and I got back on the right track. So I took a huge dump in February, and then I basically made it all back, and it will reflect right here in my Darwin X pretty much in February. I lost 4%, and then in March I bounced back, made 6%. This is my overall snapshot since I've been with Darwin X. Since I started in 2024, going through like that 6 month calibration phase, and then last year this is what I did. I slowed down a little bit, and then so far this year this is where I'm at. Total lifetime payout. Let me see if I can show you that on Darwin X. The So total performance fees earned. It says 10,761 right here, but it's a little bit more than that. This is in euro. I think altogether, I'm like a little like about around 13K in USD. So that's that, and again, I just want to kind of do this quick video to show you that I am taking a more serious approach and running this like a business and treating it like a job and not just doing some fly by night shit and just trying to like make money. But instead, like I'm being disciplined. I'm showing hey, I need to be more process oriented, and then not getting drunk on the little success that I have, and then trying to repeat that, but instead trying to repeat the disciplines by, staying ahead of myself, just keeping track of my progress, being detailed, doing the review work, pre-market work, post-market, and just again being a professional like this, you know, networking with people like you. I'm journaling, I'm exercising, taking this very seriously, like I said, and so on and so forth. And I really hope I didn't take up too much of your time. I just wanted to kind of give you an insight to show you like what I've been working on. There's other things that I'm working on as well, just trying to improve each day. But this is really the bulk of it. So yeah, Barlow, I appreciate you for just looking out, giving me some advice, and I just want to share this video with you again. Hopefully the audio is good enough. I got a mic. I've also been doing the screen recordings have been a big part of my review process, and I have them on YouTube. They're unlisted because it's mainly for me. I'll go back and watch those as well. And just like this, I go back and review, and I also record most of my live trading sessions as well, and I go back and review those as well, and just watch the tape, just kind of like see what I was thinking, how I was feeling during the trade, and why I made certain decisions. I go back and watch that as well. So yeah, those are some of the best new practices I put in place. Uh, you know, like I said, just tracking the trades, each trade, paying myself. This month I pay myself about 7K, and then with my expenses, so it's about close to 6K. Um, yeah. So, anyways, Barlow, thank you. I'm gonna send this to you, and yeah, let's talk later.